Hi, second graders. I am really excited because today we are going to be starting our narrative story writing. So last week before break, we were just getting into talking a little bit about writing a story, talking about some characters and what might happen. And for the most part, we were guiding them through it. They had to come up with a couple things here and there. But this week is really exciting because you are going to be writing your very own story this week. So just to talk about what we're going to be doing, we are going to be writing a make-believe story, which means that you are writing it yourself. It does not have to be a true event that has happened. You get to come up with the characters. You can use real characters if you want, but you can turn it into something fun that maybe may or may not have happened.
Yeah, and you're not going to be using the model we taught you when we were writing opinion. You're not going to be saying, like, for example, one reason, two reason. This is a completely different type of writing. So you're going to have to get rid of that information for right now. You can bring it back later. Whole new genre here.
Yep. And I really like this genre because I think it's the most fun and it also allows the most creativity.
Yeah.
So you really get to use your imagination and come up with something silly if you want or something you've been meaning to write about. So today is Monday, so we are going to be focusing on the who. We are going to be coming up with characters for our story. We'll get back to that in just a minute. Tomorrow on Tuesday, we're going to talk about the setting. That's where or when your story is going to take place. On Wednesday, we'll talk about a problem that happens in the story, usually between the characters. And then finally on Thursday, we're going to write about the solution.
I have a question
Yeah.
about what you just said.
Okay.
So whatever the students end up choosing to write about, it's going to be the same thing all week. They're not going to
Yes.
start a new thing each day.
No, we are writing one story, but we're breaking it up into 4 sections.
Okay, and this has nothing to do with the characters that they came up with last week. It's
Nope.
completely new. Okay.
Exactly.
All right,
And
thank you.
everything will be in their packet this week.
Yes.
So they don't have to worry about looking back for something or trying to finish something later. Everything will be in
Okay.
this week. All right. So here's what we need to do today. We need to kind of think about the whole week as a story,
Mhm.
but we're only going to focus on the characters. So we need to come up with 2 characters today, but later in the week we know that we also have to have a setting for them and there needs to be some kind of problem and a solution. So this is usually the hardest part. This part where we have to brainstorm and come up with the idea can really, really be challenging. But Mrs. Grant, you took the liberty to come up with some ideas.
Yes.
Would you mind sharing some of the ideas that you thought of?
Yeah, we had a list, Miss Marquardt and I, we brainstormed together. And you can see if you're paying attention, you can see that Miss Marquardt has already started her characters. Does not mean that you're going to be copying her characters. But we gave a list of other characters that you might be interested in using if you want to go a different route with your story. So, for example, maybe you want to write about dinosaurs who are lost in the future.
Ooh, I like that because dinosaurs are extinct. They're from the past.
So what would happen if we took a little T-Rex, I know they're not little, and we put him in, like, I don't know, the year 3000. I imagine there might be some kind of flying vehicle then,
Probably.
other than an airplane.
There
right?
must be.
Okay. So what would happen? I don't know. I bet you could come up with a problem and a
I
solution.
think there'd be a lot of problems.
Yeah, maybe not many solutions, but you can get creative with that. Let's go another route. Maybe you want to write about pirates, and these are pirates who want to be good. So Miss Marquardt was saying, relating it to the Bad Guys books. I don't know if you guys have ever read any of the Bad Guys books, but they all have a reputation of being bad guys, and they want the world to know that they're not bad guys and they have a good side to them. So maybe you guys wanted to take some pirates who are known for stealing treasure from people and turn them into pirates who just want to be known as good guys. Maybe you could figure that out. Or maybe you just want the pirates to be bad and you want us to write a story about bad pirates. I don't
do
care.
that too.
Your story. Here's another idea. Maybe a lot of you guys have read the Magic Treehouse books. I'm guessing a lot of you have, so you're familiar with the Jack and Annie characters from Magic Treehouse. So maybe you want to write your own adventure that Jack and Annie go on, your own little story for Magic Treehouse. We have another one here. Maybe you want to write a story about you and your sibling or you and your friend and that you guys want a pet. I guess you and your sibling would make more sense. I'm thinking like, okay, let's say you and your sister, you're younger, you're not 35.
Right. Okay.
Let's say you're like 8.
Okay.
Okay.
Whoa, going way back.
Yeah.
Okay.
You walk to the park with your sister, who's a
Uh-huh.
little older, so it's safe.
Yeah.
You know, she's taking an eye on you.
Got it.
And you guys come across a pack of, 15 feral kittens. It was a big litter of
That's
kittens.
a
That
large,
mom had a big,
lot
litter.
of cats.
And you fall in love with that litter of 15 kittens immediately.
Uh-huh.
And you have to write a story about how you're going to convince mom and dad to let you adopt 15 kittens you found at the park. That's a big problem.
That
You're
is
going
a
to need a good
problem.
solution. Finally, we got him with I really like this idea.
I do too.
You could have a lot of fun with it. Take our character Roz the Robot from The Wild Robot, and The Wild Robot Escapes, and write your own adventure for Roz to go on, wherever you want. Maybe it's in Morgan Hill. Maybe it's, in Jamaica. I don't know. You
that
take it
sounds
where
fun.
you want. So these are just ideas. If you're having a brain block, writer's block, and you can't think of any ideas, feel free to use any of them that we came up with today. And now Miss Marquardt's going to share the characters she came up with. We don't want you to copy. Yes, maybe you can come up with the story about Santa if you want,
Yeah.
like she did, but don't just copy what she did. Be creative.
All right. So it took me a little while to come up with an idea. I really did have to sit there and think, and that's a really natural thing that writers do. They have to stop and think. It didn't come to me immediately. But after some thought, I decided that I wanted to write a story about Santa Claus and one of the elves, Sprinkles, because it's almost Christmas, and I thought, I don't know, it might just be fun to pull in some holiday cheer into this. So today what you are going to be doing is you are going to be coming up with 2 characters for your story, and you are going to be writing about each of them. We want you to give your characters a name so that you can refer to them in the writing. We want you to describe what they look like. If you want, you can tell how old they are or give some other describing things about them. And then explain how they act or how they feel. Give us a little bit of information about them. So I chose, my first character is going to be Santa Claus, and I wrote that Santa Claus is a jolly man with a white beard and a big tummy. He is very kind and loves to give gifts and spread cheer. That probably sounds pretty familiar.
Yes.
I did not make
Good
him up
description,
by myself.
though. Yes.
So Santa Claus is our first character, and the second character is Sprinkles. Now, I wrote that Sprinkles is an energetic elf who loves to help. He has a red suit and brown hair. He is usually pretty good, but sometimes he gets into trouble. So, if our students are like, oh my goodness, I have to write a story about Santa Claus and an elf, go for it. But maybe your elf doesn't have to be called Sprinkles. Maybe you could name it something different. Or maybe you want to write about Sprinkles and a reindeer instead. And you can take this idea, but I don't want you to copy it. I want you to change it a little bit, because these are mine and Mrs. Grant's hard thought ideas, and we want to make sure that you're taking the time to be creative and come up with your own ideas. So I would spend a few minutes.
Yeah.
And I would really think about what you would enjoy writing about, what you would like to write a story about, and who those characters might be. And try to give us at least 2 or 3 sentences about each of your characters.
Yeah. And when you turn in your packet and we're grading these and we look at every single sentence and period and everything you write on your packet, we're really going to be looking to make sure that you have come up with your own ideas and you did not just copy every word from all of our writing videos this week. Okay?
All right, well, I want you to have fun. So get a smile on your face, get your pencil ready, and go get to work.